Today's video is a weird one. I don't really know where to start. Apparently, Lil Tay, somebody who I covered on my YouTube channel years and years ago now, is reportedly, has apparently passed away. This has been it's been going on for like 24 hours now. This isn't going to be like a normal video. I feel like that's pretty obvious. I feel like this one, needs to be more respectful, but also because it's really strange. There's a lot of odd stuff going on here. Apparently, Lil Tay and her brother were involved in a lawsuit that was apparently going to kind of end in the next couple of weeks, and they were pretty confident they were going to win against her dad, who apparently had like all of the money that she'd made off of doing all of the internet stuff, and they were trying to like regain control of all of their funds and everything. And then the news breaks, like a week before the trial, that apparently they have both passed away. Now, that seems like too big to be a lie, right? That's currently what I'd look at that. Like, a lot of people being like, oh, they've played people before and they've said that stuff isn't true and they've lied and they've extensively made stuff up for attention. So if anybody's posting anything, like the statement that was released, which I can read for you, it is with a heavy heart that we share the devastating news of our beloved Claire's sudden and tragic passing. We have no words to express the unbearable loss and indescribable pain. This outcome was entirely unexpected and has left us all in shock. Her brother's passing adds an even more unimaginable depth to our grief. That just seems like a really strange thing to just like kind of chuck in there. During this time of immense sorrow, we kindly ask for privacy as we grieve this overwhelming loss, as the circumstances surrounding Claire and her brother's passing are still under investigation. Now, the first thing about this is apparently the Los Angeles Police Department have said there is no record of her death. They've not been alerted, and there is no investigation. So, maybe it's not taking place in Los Angeles, but I feel like they'd be able to get to that pretty quickly. And then the other thing is that two of the former managers told the US Sun they are suspicious of the statement, have been unable to verify its legitimacy. When reached by phone on Wednesday evening, Lil Tay's father, Christopher Hope, refused to provide any clarity on the situation. Now that's strange because, there's a statement. There's a written statement on Instagram, so why wouldn't you say yes or no to that question? I mean, it would be yes if the statement is true. And if somebody had, hacked the account or made something up, you'd be pretty quick to correct that information, wouldn't you? I don't know. I mean, I can't exactly say that any of this seems normal. But the fact that it's all kind of like centered around a trial is really, really, really odd. And I just don't really know how I feel about it. Like, even on Twitter, there was this post that was made. To be clear, I'm not dead. I don't have access anymore to the Lil Tay Instagram account. My sister and I were winning our case. It was just a couple of days before we got it all back, all our social media, and come out about the truth. Me and Tay are not dead. We don't got access to the account. Our parents want us gone off the internet, but we will not go away. Well, if your parents want you gone off the internet, then I think saying you're dead is not a good way to do that because, right, if you're not dead, it wouldn't be very hard to get a hold of a phone. Right? So what is going on? They're spreading misinformation. We're not dead. Well, there's misinformation then saying, who knows if this is, I don't even think this is potentially even real. Like, it's got 26,000 likes on Twitter and it's been reposted, but nobody's apparently been able to get a hold of anybody in this situation apart from the dad who refused to say anything about it, which is just truly fascinating. But it's being reported on by, Sky, everyone. Look at all of this here. It's very odd. Like, the whole thing seems to, it's got mass attention, but nobody seems to be able to actually put a finger on whether this has or hasn't happened or not. But based on everything surrounding it, it just seems very, very odd. Apparently, Lil Tay's brother and Lil Tay, one of the things they did near the end, like kind of 2018, 19, was exposed the fact that allegedly her dad beat her. Now, I'm pretty sure her dad saw the videos of Lil Tay on the internet of her like smoking and doing stuff like, for the videos, and used that to regain custody of Lil Tay because they were basically saying that she was being neglected. Because, well, I mean, to be honest, like making a 9-year-old famous on the internet, even as a joke, even if it was all ironic and comedy, which apparently it was, and I believe that. I don't think, the internet kind of took it and ran with it, but it was clearly taking the piss. Like, it clearly was a joke, right? Like, it was obviously a comedic character. But making a 9-year-old or having a 9-year-old play a comedic character, whether she wanted to or not, and not really understand the impact it would have to become like such a widespread person and like what the effect it ended up having on her life. People should keep children away from the internet. God knows what's happened here, but for me, that's a big overwhelming part of this. If the videos led to her being put back into care with her allegedly abusive father, then that's awful. But, sacrificing, somebody's entire childhood to be famous on the internet, to be heavily ridiculed, also probably wouldn't do good things to somebody. We don't know what the cause is yet. And I don't want to speculate. And I don't want to sit here and go, it might be this, it might be that, because I don't know. And that's not really the point of this video. It's just very odd, the circumstances surrounding everything here and how weird it is. I remember covering this years and years ago. I just think it was like some silly little videos, and you always see stuff and, some things just kind of like take virality and become bigger and bigger and bigger. And Lil Tay was massive. But this is a strange situation, just the way that it's centered around a lawsuit, a potentially abusive family member, and then nobody can get a hold, and then the dad refuses to confirm anything. Like, why would anybody want more speculation to be out about this? Surely you'd want to, after releasing that statement, if the statement was released and is true, you'd stand by that. You wouldn't sit there and like go, oh, no comment. I mean, that statement is a pretty big comment. I mean, you've said that both of the children are dead and then won't speak about it after, I guess, making an Instagram post about it. I think you'd probably prioritize talking to the news over Instagram. An actual news source, a channel to get information out there quickly that is hopefully authenticated and researched. And you decide that that's where you're going to like stop, spreading that information. It's just very sad, the whole thing. Obviously, if it is true. And if it isn't, I'm fascinated to kind of find out why. What was to gain from this? Nothing, really. I mean, everybody's talking about it, but not in a good way. So whoever feels like this is a positive for them, if they felt like doing this was some form of like one-up or cool way to like gain internet presence, then I don't know. Not all publicity is good publicity, especially something like this that has now just brought so much attention to all of this information that people pretty much, I guess, have just been ignoring for the last few years. Like, it's not been something that I've seen really mentioned. And now everybody's talking about it. And, it's very odd. I mean, there's even a Variety article. The last post was in June 2018. That's 5 years ago now. Which is crazy. She'd be like 14 years old, right? The whole thing is just so odd. In a phone interview with the Daily Beast alongside her mother Angela, Lil Tay said, "Right now I'm in a bad situation. I don't want to talk about these things," adding that her father had filed something to the court, and the court ordered us to go back here, and he said that I was in danger and stuff. He was threatening to have my mum arrested if we didn't go back. I didn't see him for multiple years. He never saw me for so long. It's obviously just came back because he wants money. And that was like the last massive interview, I guess, they did about everything that was going on. It's just very, very weird. The whole thing is so odd, and I can't put a finger on why the person who was in control of the accounts would do this if it wasn't true, and then why the dad wouldn't confirm it. You'd assume he'd know, right? It'd be incredibly odd if he didn't. But then I guess they didn't want him in their life. But then why has nobody else come forward? You know, I mean, surely after this time that's passed, the 24 hours, somebody must know something who can confirm it, like friends or family or whatever, but apparently nobody can get a hold of anybody. So it's just in the air. I guess we'll find out in the next couple days. Maybe even by the time I end up posting this video tonight, maybe there'll be more information. But the whole thing around this and the fact there was a lawsuit that they were very confident in winning in the next couple of weeks just gives it a really eerie feel. And it just makes me think that, like, there's something really odd going on here that doesn't quite meet the eye. And there's a lot of stuff that just doesn't really add up. And it's just a weird thing to do. And I can't work out what the angle would be if it wasn't to be true. But if it is true, it's really, really sad. I know people didn't like the videos or whatever, but, like, they were jokes. Whether you found them funny or not, you know. But it's like, and even if they weren't jokes, it's like a 9-year-old kid in those videos. So, you know, you could take the mick out of it, but, like, actually being, like, genuinely angry is just strange. I've seen people on Twitter, like, celebrate this. And that's odd. I don't know why you'd ever celebrate anybody, you know, passing away. Seems like a weird thing to do. A child as well. But I guess people have no respect on the internet, do they? But I hope they're okay. That's really all you can really say with everything that's going on right now and the complete mismatch of information. And I guess we'll see how this pans out. Very weird.